I welcome you to this very channel. My name is Fidel de Castro, aka the Inspired Castro. In this channel, we will inspire you, we will make you laugh, and we will present to you other interesting topics that will worth your time. Thank you as you subscribe to all our social media handles, Inspired Castro. Stay tuned and I welcome you once again. There is something very important, very significant I want you to listen to today. And before I go ahead to expose you to the discussion of today, I want you to ask yourself this question. Is Nigeria working for me? I want you to ask yourself this question. Is Nigeria working for my friends? Is Nigeria working for my relatives? Is Nigeria working for people who are less informed? After asking yourself this question, you ask yourself again, is Nigeria working for the Christians? Is Nigeria working for the Muslims, the Islams? After you have asked yourself this question, now watch this very video clip and we will talk more about this.
Let me tell you, the greatest undoing of the APC candidate is in his unguided and unsalutary method of trying to play God. Remember, we talk about the Lord of Bodleian, and he has an uncanny relationship with the king of Babylon, the city of corruption. Recall that Nebuchadnezzar said that he built the hanging gardens of Babylon, not God, and God warned him, be humble and give respect to me, and he refused. And God struck him and he became a human monkey. This is a presidential candidate who is arrogating to himself that he is God. He said, I single-handedly made Buhari president. That's a blasphemy in Quran and in Christianity. That was the first time he fell out with Babachiri Lawal. Babachiri Lawal said, don't play God. You are arrogant. And that was what fell out between him and Rauf Aregbe Shola Ubeni, who said, you are playing God. And it is not supposed to be so. Remember what Rauf said when the Osun election was concluded. He was abroad. And he said, he quoted the Bible. All powers are ordained by God. And he giveth it to whoever he wishes, including the business of men. But look at...
At this point, I would want to ask you a question. Do you think Nigeria will work for you and work for your children? Do you think that that's your child, whom you think is a born leader, can wake up tomorrow in the country called Nigeria and pick up a form to vie for the office of a governor freely without discrimination? Do you think that that's your daughter can wake up tomorrow and pick up a form to vie for the office of a speaker, both at the state level and at the federal level? Do you think it's going to be possible? I mean, we Nigerians are lucky and fortunate at this material time to have a man who is bringing a total overhaul of the political system. Nigerians are very lucky, and this is why I keep saying this. Most of the people who are rooting for P2B as the president of Nigeria come 2023, majority of them have traveled, different parts of the world. They have seen what governance is all about. They have seen what leadership is all about, and that is why you cannot change their mind. These are some of the questions you have to ask yourself. It is no longer a news that Nigeria is currently at an inflation point. You need to listen more to this video clip before I give you my piece on this.
Bola Tinubu claiming that he is God. Whoever votes for Bola Tinubu is not a true Christian or a true Muslim, because he has blasphemed the Quran and blasphemed the Bible. In Quran, they said, all powers belong to Allah, and Allah giveth it to whomsoever he wishes. If President Buhari supports Bola Tinubu, he is not a true Muslim, because Bola Tinubu has said he single-handedly made Buhari president, which is a blasphemy in Islam. That is what is killing them. They don't have respect for people. Babachiri Lawal told you that Tinubu is already feeling that he's the president because he's playing God. In the whole Yoruba land, he said it is his turn when it comes to Yoruba land. Who told him that? Ayo Adebanjo, the revered leader of Afenifere, was in Ibadan, the capital of the Southwest, to tell the Southwest that P2B is the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So wherever you go to, in any pool you want to describe, P2B is the chosen person because he's a man of character, capacity, and competence. And his candidacy is built on a foundation of equity, fairness, and justice. Must be grinning in the waiting room when you.
There is something that got me also interested in this. When you talk about equity, fairness, and justice, we all saw during the time of corona pandemic what happened. Even when president released palliatives to state governors, some of the state governors had to hide these palliatives in warehouses. We saw where people were breaking the warehouses trying to access some of these palliatives. This is exactly what I am talking about. Nigeria at this inflation point need a president who is both competent in character, a competent president who is capable, a president who is healthy and not just wealthy, but a man who is healthy enough to tackle corruption. We need a man who is straightforward, and that is why I keep saying this. We need a president who can come out on national television and put a question and query state governors why so is not happening, even when they get their monthly allocations from the federal government. That is the type of president we need. We don't need a man who will stay in Aso Rock and even doesn't have a clue of what is happening in the remaining 36 states of the nation. We don't want a man who will just sit there because he wants to be president. We don't want a man who just wants his name to be written on the stone of history that he was once a president of Nigeria. We want a man who is capable, a man who can motivate and involve investors all over and bring investors all over the remaining parts of the world to come into the nation. We need a man who is respected when he speaks. We need a man who also who have managed private businesses and was successful in this. That is what we need in the Nigeria of today. We need a man who will overhaul the entire political system so that people don't need to know anybody before they vie for political positions. People don't need to have godfathers before they vie for political positions. That people will just, all they need is to identify with a political party and run. And then they will either win based on their track records, based on character and competence. That is what we need. We don't need a governance or a political system where only very few people, only a certain percentage of people who are benefiting from a particular man continues to confuse the rest of the citizens. One question I will ask you before I conclude this section. If you are educated and you are not advocating for a competent leader in the Nigeria of today, I'm sorry, but I think the education you have is not what it is in vain. You should be stripped of your academic qualifications. If you are today rooting for an incompetent leader to lead Nigeria forward, to move Nigeria forward from this catastrophe, if you are educated, informed, and civilized, and you are rooting for a leader who does not have what it takes to lead Nigeria forward at this material time, I would say that all the academic qualifications you possess must be questioned. May God deliver Nigeria come 2023. And I hope that a lot of people will learn and understand that education is important. And it is time we begin to put people who are well educated, who are well informed, to lead the nation forward so that there will be peace, so that insecurity will end, so that those in diaspora can visit home happily without fear. God bless you. I remain this podcast and I hope to come your way once again.